The co-founder and CEO coming in here is he has created mold-free coffee, which I used to be a founder of a coffee brand, and I was unaware that mold is a huge issue inside of the coffee
Huge.
space. And it is a
Huge.
huge issue with real health ramifications. And he has brought something to market that I think all of America needs. We're going to hear his story, talk about how things are going. I'm talking about the one and only Caleb Sloop. Caleb, get in here. Get inside the show, Caleb. There he is.
Chris Collin, thank you for having me.
Brother.
Are you just amped up on caffeine right now like we are?
I hope you are.
Sorry, what was that?
Are you amped up on Seek like we are?
Oh, yeah. Look at this. Like,
let's
15
go.
minutes.
There we go. Right there.
There we go.
Have to.
I am ripping a Kirk right now, but I wish I was ripping a Seek, Caleb.
Listen, I'll get a care package to you guys. Don't worry about it.
Okay, we'll take it. Brother, I was totally unaware of the mold problem that is rampant inside of coffee. I used to be a coffee roaster myself. I didn't even know this. If you would just start here and give our audience some background for those who don't know you, don't know about Seek. Man, what's the origin story? How have you brought this thing to where you have today? And why do people love it and like it so much?
Yeah, great question. So what you just said right there, most people don't know mold is in coffee. I didn't either, The origin story of Seek is over 20 years ago, my mom, she got really sick with mold toxicity exposure and developed all these autoimmune issues. And just in a nutshell, that just means your body attacks itself, all these chronic diseases like Hashimoto's and lupus. And it got so bad, she couldn't even get out of bed some days. So going from doctor to doctor to doctor, she got a bunch of different answers. And one answer she got always stuck with me. I'll never forget it. One of her doctors said, you have to cut out your daily coffee. It's making you worse.
Really?
And so, yeah, as a teenager, I loved coffee. I worked with Starbucks for 5 years. I was a coffee master. You know everything about it. And I had no idea. So my brother and I, both passionate about coffee, we dig into the research and the science behind it. And coffee, it's the second most traded commodity in the world, just behind oil. Super prevalent. And it's also the most mold contaminated crop in the world, around with nuts and things like that can have poor transportation issues, poor storage, poor growing practices, all these little links of the chain that mold can appear. And, we realized for a lot of people that have these autoimmune issues and that are super sensitive, it can really lead to a lot of health issues. And even for just normal people, like us with not a bunch of health issues, if you get a headache, if you get jitters, if you get stomach issues, that's not the coffee. People like to blame the coffee. It's not the culprit. It's the mold, and it's the mycotoxins, the toxins that mold produces, that are giving you all these side effects of the coffee.
Wild.
Wow.
I mean, I've got a headache because I'm buzzing from too much caffeine right now, and that literally might be the case because I'm drinking mold. I mean, this is like, it's new for me. It's totally new for me. Yeah, Colin, same.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I was just gonna say, how did you then understand that and then start? Okay, now I have to build out this entire new mold-free process. How did this even start? Because I would be so afraid. How do I do this?
Yeah, it starts at the origin, with the beans. So we work with a bunch of small family-owned farms, mostly in Mexico, Central America, and Peru, just to make sure they're all certified organic. We know them really closely, and then we partner with some local roasteries here in Nashville, where I'm based, and just to make sure every little link of the chain, we have visibility on it, we know what's happening, and then from there, we take everything and send it off to a third-party laboratory to get it tested for all these panels of the common culprits like mold and mycotoxins and pesticides. We're doing some more panels here in Q2 that I'm really excited about, just to make sure it's super pure and has all the good stuff. But that's essentially it in a nutshell. And it started as a hobby. I didn't think it would be a business. And it just grew so organically. And I was so passionate about it. I told my brother, we really have something here. And we've never looked back.
Well, you do. You certainly do. And I I mean, well, tell me about like the larger kind of coffee market, especially inside of America. I guess you're the only person I know who's doing this. I would guess that a lot of us are we're drinking mold every day. I mean, is that the case? I mean, what's the percentage? What's that look
Yeah.
like across the states?
That's the unfortunate truth. Obviously, it's in very low levels. A lot of what you're drinking, but for a lot of people, it can lead to health issues, especially down the road if you're consuming 3, 4, 5 cups a day. I mean, 2.2 billion cups of coffee are drank globally each day. How can all of that be quality and mold free? So to your point about the U.S., the quality in the U.S. is so bad. Whatever the European Union and Japan reject in their market, they send to the U.S. to consume.
Seriously,
I totally believe
their standards so strict.
Wow,
unbelievable.
Yeah. So the European Union, they're doing a good job right now. The ochratoxin A is one of the worst mycotoxins that leads to inflammation in the body. They have really strict standards on importing that of the green coffee. So the U.S. has a long way to go in terms of regulatory standards. Just making sure whatever goes in our body is good. But for now, a lot of little companies like us, just testing it and making sure it's all pure. That's the best we can do.
I mean, Colin, so I think that Caleb's got to bang this like a drum. I mean, from the heavens. I mean, everybody needs to hear this, that the coffee that is rejected in Europe and in Japan is sent here, and he's one of the only unique providers who's actually providing pure coffee. I mean, don't you think so? I mean, this thing to me sounds like a win every day and all day.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that it's interesting that you're lined up with the current administration for making America a little bit healthier. How are you thinking about the vision for this moving forward? Because you have a pretty large footprint right now. How are you thinking about that moving forward?
Definitely.
Colin, whenever you talk, I hear feedback on your side, Caleb. Is it? Do you hear that? I hear feedback.
Output's different on my end.
Okay. All right. Keep going.
Okay.
Colin, to your point, so it's just working out so well in terms of the new administration and things like that. People are understanding that transparency is a good thing. Healthy alternatives are a good thing. People want more visibility on what they're putting in their bodies, and that's worked out really, really well for us. So we're getting into more verticals, just making sure that people have more options, just to enjoy healthy coffee.
Man, it just seems like such a no-brainer. We had Anthony Guston from Lineage on the show, and it really seems like this is the next trend in food and CPG and all of the things. Is right now it's protein, but it really seems like the next trend, especially lining up with what's happening in the zeitgeist, is purity. It's not protein, it's purity. And knowing what we're taking into our bodies, how that affects us. It's a compelling selling point that I think everybody will well receive. And it seems like it is. I mean, brother, you already got the coffee in a can, which is not an easy thing to do. I was never able to make that bridge and cross that. And talk to us about going from roasted beans into the cans. What does that look like? How's that been different for you, process-wise, et cetera?
Yeah, I'll touch on your point briefly, just what you said a minute ago. I think for mold-free, we like to say health is largely invisible until it isn't. There's a lot of education we have to do with consumers for what is mold-free, shock and all. But if you think about it, people buy air filters to keep them protected from particles they can't see. They buy water filters, even though they don't know the contaminants they're ingesting. They buy certified organic, even though they can't see the pesticides. So there's this wave of consumers that are trusting, in transparency. Even though I can't see it, I know I don't want to ingest that into my body. So that's that point. In terms of the cans, this was a selfish thing that I made for me. I don't really drink hot coffee. Yeah, I wish I had a great story with you guys to talk about all these numbers and RTD, compound annual growth. There's none of that. I just really wanted iced coffee.
Yeah, baby.
So that's it.
Let's go.
We recently acquired a co-packer here in Nashville. So doing everything ourselves, and it's just
Awesome.
it's been amazing. So I'm really excited to announce we're getting into like iced espresso or TD, things like that.
Seriously.
Yeah, so super fun stuff for this year that we're working on.
That's incredible, man. So the like the mold free and the kind of purity processes that you guys have in place, it does not stop you from doing more kind of on the flavor side or kind of, you know, in different ways when it comes to ready to drink. Is that the case?
The coffee, I like to point out we don't put any sugar, no kind of creamers, milks, because that does change the composition. The
Sure.
lab testing, we've
Yeah.
tested a little bit of stuff in R&D. It's just trickier, So while we've had a lot of people say you got to make an oat milk latte, you got to make, these lattes. Isabel with
Yeah.
Laurel's,
Yeah.
amazing product. That will never be us. Hats off. Just because we have what we have right now, and we're just going to double down on what we do really, really well, and let everyone else excel where they are. But in terms of like different roasts, decaf, we did a short run of decaf cans, and they flew off the shelf. I was shocked. I was like, who
Awesome.
wants decaf? But a lot of people want RTD decaf. So
Wow. That's shocking to me. Go ahead, Colin.
How are you thinking about product seeding when it comes to influencers in the space, and how you're trying to scale this up and still be, cash flow positive and still working successfully?
definitely. Yeah, that's a phenomenal question. So when we got started, because this is a CPG brand, I went down the traditional rabbit hole of I got to get influencers, right? So I was hammering 100 DMs a day, just begging people to take our product. And I either got no, or if they did want to work with us, it was, several hundred to $1,000 for videos, right?
Yeah.
So I'll never forget, it was about a year ago, my mom met with her mold doctor, and her mold doctor said on the call, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know I recommended your coffee, your son's coffee to one of my patients." And it was like an aha went in my mind, like, wait, there's doctors out there recommending our
Great
coffee.
point.
Why don't we cap? And if you think about it, if your doctor tells you to take something, you're not going to go on Amazon.com and do reviews and comparisons. Should I get that? You take it, right?
You take it.
So I was like,
Wow.
wait, the conversion rate is already sky high if someone tells you to take it. So after that, I built this holistic network of clinicians, and then we partnered with a couple of other platforms out there. And now, as of this recording, we have close to 100, 900 clinicians actively recommending Seek to their patients.
Wow.
So it's super niche strategy that we've developed, but it's been incredible so far for the brand.
Man, I saw this.
Wow.
I saw this when I was on your website. You've got that clinician's choice there, and it's got like it's got the number of doctors and who they are and all the things. I think that's
Huge.
so smart because obviously you're leveraging the genuine testimonies and people that operators inside of healthcare who are recommending your product, and you're showing that to your customers and potential customers. I think that's so smart, man.
Yeah, I think it's really underrated advice for a business to know what they are and what they aren't. We know that we are not Starbucks. We are not these coffee. We're going to tell you this origin, this roast. That's not what we do. We have regular espresso decaf. That's it. We don't go into the tasting notes. This is just we're a wellness company that happens to serve really, really good coffee. And we're passionate about coffee as well, but we know that we're a wellness company first.
I like that framing. I like that take. That's super interesting.
So Whoop just raised, I think, $10 billion. They're a wellness company. Are you thinking about that avenue potentially as being a wellness company? Are you thinking about raising 10 Bs?
Yeah, listen. If that helps us get clean coffee to the world, I'm not against it.
Nice.
Wow, super interesting.
Currently haven't raised. Still thinking about it, but we're just growing slow the way we want to right now.
So what does acquisition look like right now? I know you're in stores, man. I'd love to hear what you've done on the co-packer side. You guys are owning that, et cetera. What's acquisition look like? Where are people finding you? I know you just got on Amazon too, right? Is that the case?
That's true. Yeah, the flagship of our beans. That's it. That's all we have there, and it's already been doing really well.
How are people finding you? How do they get to know you? I mean, are you making videos every day, or what's that look like, Caleb?
No, man, I wish. I'm a little shy for that, but Word of mouth is definitely the best way. I'll give you specifics.
Sure.
Our business is split about 70% D2C, and then 30%
Awesome.
is the retail and things like that. And for the retail side, that's more of like a marketing thing. We partner with these longevity clinics, with wellness spas, really random stuff. People are like, go to Sprouts, go to Whole Foods, go to Erewhon. That's great, but for right now, I think what we want to do is just position ourselves in front of the right people. We want to align super well with the right customers.
Well, I like this. I like this, like very strategic store locations, because I was looking at where you are in Austin, and it's like a gym. There's like a health gym related thing. I thought, wow, I didn't expect that, but that makes total sense for getting in front of the right people who take care of their health, etc. I think that's really interesting. Did you kind of vision that or see that as a marketing play for people to discover you and then come back to the website and buy there as well?
I didn't. I set out to just really create a really robust subscription-based business, because that's predominantly what we are with D2C. People, that's the best way that I want to build it, just because I can talk directly to our customers. I know who's with us. Like, I can tell you probably hundreds off the top of my head. They've shared their story. I've shared mine. It's amazing. I love that part of business. And so with the retailers, when they started launching, I realized, wow, this is actually a marketing play. We get some of the right people that can come to us, and so it's kind of this different avenue that I wouldn't have considered.
Colin, listen to this. In Franklin, Nashville area, I mean, listen to some of these places. We're talking about Your Healing Store, and you're at the airport. East Nashville Chiropractic, Sauna and Cold Plunge Studio. This is right in Colin's wheelhouse. He would live there all day and every day if he didn't have one in his backyard. Legacy Fit Gym, Prepped Palette, Volta Cafe. I mean, this really makes a lot of sense when you frame it that way. I like that.
Definitely. You can't be everything to everyone, so you have to really be strategic with where you are.
We just talked about this with Allbirds, who was everything to everybody, and they just had that. Are there any wellness brands that you're trying to partner with moving forward?
Yeah, not actively. Everything we've done so far is super holistic. It just has to be the right people. I mean, people here on Twitter are incredible. John, you said Volta. John Fio, he's here on Twitter. Shout out John. That was super random connection. And now, if you go to Volta Cafe here in Nashville, and they're going to branch out some more, and you get an iced coffee, that's C Coffee. We have
that's awesome.
And it's super cool. Yeah.
That is awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, and tell us, okay, 2026, man, anything else that's coming? What are you excited about? Anything you can sprinkle on us that's coming down the road? I think getting on Amazon's super smart for you. What else is to come on that side?
Yeah, there's some verticals I can't talk about right now that I'm super pumped about. I think just doubling down on what makes your business. Why do people come to you in the first place? I don't really. I try to avoid the shiny object syndrome. I just want to make the best and just solidify why people come to us in the first place. So they love the cans. I'm going to make it even better. I'm going to make iced espresso. I'm going to make decaf. I'm going to make the bags even better. We have now kegs servicing around Nashville area. So just grow slow.
Well, man, I think that your message and your core thesis and the product that you produce is totally right. And I think, man, there is a growing market for it. And man, you're poised at the edge of the zeitgeist. And so, brother, I want to be drinking mold-free coffee. And where should people find you? Is it seek2live.com, right? Seek to Live on every other platform.
That's right.
Awesome, man.
Amazing.
Well, Caleb, we appreciate having you. We look forward to having you back, and we're going to be following along, brother. Thank you, man.
Sounds awesome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.